Welcome to the Flower of Infinity channel, your channel of connection with the divine spark of the higher self, the new vision of quantum mechanics and its relationship with spiritual reality. Quantum mechanics emerged in the early 20th century as one of the most challenging and revolutionary theories in modern physics. It not only reformulated the foundations of science, but also opened doors to profound debates about the nature of reality and the role of consciousness in the universe. This field of knowledge has revealed that the subatomic world, though invisible to human eyes, is full of phenomena that defy the conventions of classical thought. Moreover, its implications go beyond the purely scientific domain, inviting metaphysical and spiritual reflections. Although it was initially developed to describe the behavior of subatomic particles, quantum mechanics soon showed that its principles could be applied far beyond physics. It serves as a bridge between the tangible and the intangible, connecting materialist science with the quest for a deeper meaning of existence. Particle behavior at the quantum level presents a fluid and interconnected reality, suggesting that the universe is a field of potentialities shaped in part by the presence of consciousness. The impact of quantum mechanics on understanding reality. One of the most fascinating characteristics of quantum mechanics is its ability to challenge the determinism that dominated science until then. In the classical model, reality was conceived as a closed and predictable system, where causes generated specific effects. However, quantum mechanics introduced concepts such as uncertainty, probability, and duality, subverting the idea of a strictly mechanistic universe. At the subatomic level, particles exhibit paradoxical behaviors. Wave-particle duality, for example, shows that a particle can behave like a solid particle or like a wave, depending on the experimental conditions. This means that the nature of the particle is not fixed, but is determined by the context and, most impressively, by the interaction with an observer. This phenomenon suggests that reality is not an absolute state, but something dynamic, co-created by the interaction between the physical world and consciousness. Another fundamental concept in quantum mechanics is quantum entanglement. When two particles interact, they remain connected, even if they are separated by vast distances. This means that a change in the state of one particle instantly affects the state of the other, regardless of the distance between them. This phenomenon challenges the notion of separation and points to an underlying reality where everything is interconnected. The collapse of the wave function and the participation of consciousness. One of the most intriguing aspects of quantum mechanics is the collapse of the wave function. Before being observed, a particle exists in a superposition state, where multiple possibilities coexist simultaneously. However, at the moment an observation is made, the wave function collapses, and one of those possibilities manifests as concrete reality. This principle raises a fundamental question. What is the role of consciousness in the collapse of the wave function? If observation is what determines the manifestation of reality, then consciousness plays an active role in creating the universe. This idea strongly resonates with spiritual traditions that have long maintained that the mind and spirit have the power to shape reality. By suggesting that reality is influenced by the presence and intention of the observer, quantum mechanics aligns with the idea that the universe is participatory. In other words, we are co-creators of our reality, actively contributing to how it unfolds. The connection between science and spirituality. The connection between quantum mechanics and spirituality goes beyond mere coincidence. While science seeks to understand the mechanisms of the universe, spirituality investigates the purpose and meaning of existence. Together, these approaches offer a broader, more integrated view of reality. For a long time, spiritual traditions have taught that everything in the universe is interconnected. The idea that separation is an illusion and that reality is shaped by consciousness is central in philosophies such as Buddhism, Hinduism, and Hermeticism. These traditions argue that the human mind has the power to influence the world around it, a concept echoed in quantum mechanics. Moreover, quantum mechanics suggests that material reality is only a surface layer of a much more complex system. This idea reflects the spiritual view that the visible world is supported by a deeper underlying reality that is essentially energetic and vibrational. Both science and spirituality point to a universe where everything is interconnected and where separation is an illusion. Metaphysical reflections. The universe as a field of potentialities. By revealing that the universe is composed of constantly moving energy fields, quantum mechanics challenges the notion that matter is solid and unchanging. Instead, it suggests that everything is energy, vibrating at different frequencies. This perspective changes the way we see the world, encouraging us to consider that physical reality is only a temporary manifestation of something much greater. This view finds parallels in spiritual traditions, which often describe the universe as a field of potentialities. In Hinduism, for example, the concept of Maya refers to the illusory nature of material reality. Similarly, quantum mechanics shows that the reality we perceive is merely a projection of the infinite possibilities contained at the quantum level. Key role of intention and thought in creating reality. If quantum mechanics suggests that reality is shaped by the interaction between observer and observed, it also implies that our thoughts and intentions have a direct impact on the world around us. Science is beginning to acknowledge the power of thought in shaping reality, a principle that has always been central to spiritual traditions. Practices such as meditation and creative visualization, widely taught in spiritual contexts, gain new significance when viewed through the lens of quantum mechanics. By focusing the mind on a specific goal or outcome, we create a field of energy that attracts the necessary conditions for that goal to manifest. This not only reinforces the role of consciousness as a co-creator, but also highlights the importance of cultivating positive and intentional thoughts. Implications for human life and spiritual development. The discoveries of quantum mechanics have profound implications for human life. They invite us to reconsider our beliefs about reality, consciousness, and our role in the universe. By understanding that reality is fluid and that we are co-creators of our destiny, we gain a new perspective on the meaning of life. This view also encourages us to take responsibility for our thoughts and actions. If we are co-creators, then we have the power to shape our experiences and create a more harmonious and balanced world. This responsibility is both a privilege and a challenge, requiring us to cultivate self-awareness and align our intentions with universal principles of love, compassion, and balance. The Copenhagen interpretation and its limits. The Copenhagen interpretation, formulated by physicists such as Niels Bohr and Werner Heisenberg, became one of the most widely accepted approaches to understanding quantum mechanics in the 20th century. It presents a pragmatic view of physics, suggesting that the role of science is to describe observable phenomena and predict experimental results, without necessarily seeking a metaphysical or ontological explanation for the ultimate nature of reality. This approach simplifies the practical application of quantum mechanics, but also limits the exploration of fundamental questions about the relationship between consciousness and the universe. The fundamental principle of the Copenhagen interpretation. At the core of the Copenhagen interpretation is the idea that quantum mechanics is a tool for describing probabilities rather than a literal representation of reality. According to this view, the state of a subatomic particle before observation has no objective meaning. Instead, the particle's state is described as a wave function, representing all the possible positions or states in which it can exist. Only when an observation is made and the wave function collapses does the particle assume a specific position or state in space-time. This approach places observation at the center of the quantum process, emphasizing that the reality we perceive is shaped by the interaction between the observed system and the observer. While this provides a practical model for experiments and technological applications, such as the creation of semiconductors and lasers, it avoids addressing deeper questions about what happens to the particle before it is observed. This operational pragmatism of the Copenhagen interpretation led many scientists to adopt a functionalist stance, but left significant gaps in the exploration of the essence of reality. Strengths and limitations of the pragmatic approach. The Copenhagen interpretation is widely valued for its simplicity and practical effectiveness. It offers a solid foundation for empirical science by focusing exclusively on what can be measured and observed. This eliminated the need for metaphysical speculations that might hinder scientific progress. However, By restricting its field of study to what is empirically verifiable, this interpretation ignores non-measurable aspects of human experience and the nature of the universe. One of the main limitations of this approach is its inability to explain the role of consciousness in the process of wave function collapse. If observation is essential to determining reality, the question inevitably arises, what is consciousness, and how does it influence matter? The Copenhagen interpretation sidesteps this question, treating the observer as an abstraction or a technical component of the experiment rather than acknowledging the complexity of consciousness as an integral part of the process. Moreover, this view excludes the possibility that reality could exist independently of observation. This runs counter to the intuition of many scientists and philosophers, who argue that the universe must have an objective existence even when it is not being measured or observed. The debate between objective and subjective reality. The Copenhagen interpretation triggered heated debates about the nature of reality. While proponents of this view argue that quantum mechanics should not attempt to explain ultimate reality, critics such as Albert Einstein insisted on the existence of an objective reality independent of observation. Einstein, a fierce critic of this approach, famously said, "God does not play dice with the universe," expressing his rejection of the randomness and indeterminacy proposed by quantum mechanics. He believed in an underlying order to the universe that could be explained by deterministic principles. For him, the idea that particles do not have defined properties until they are observed was unacceptable. This view led to the development of alternative theories, such as hidden variables, which sought to provide a more complete explanation of quantum behavior. The disagreement between Einstein and Bohr about the interpretation of quantum mechanics symbolizes the conflict between two fundamental perspectives, one that accepts reality as something dynamic and co-created by observation, and another that defends a fixed, objective reality, independent of conscious interaction. Consciousness is a central element in forming reality. Although the Copenhagen interpretation does not delve deeply into the role of consciousness, the idea that observation is necessary for wave function collapse suggests that consciousness plays a central role in shaping reality. This perspective creates room for a connection between quantum mechanics and spiritual traditions, many of which affirm that the human mind is an active co-creator of the universe. If reality is indeed influenced by consciousness, it implies that the human mind has a fundamental role in shaping the world around it. This concept is explored in practices such as meditation, creative visualization, and positive thinking, which seek to align the mind with specific intentions to manifest changes in physical reality. Although these practices are not yet fully acknowledged by conventional science, they reflect an intuitive understanding that aligns with some of quantum mechanics' deeper implications, philosophical limitations, and opportunities for expansion. The Copenhagen interpretation is often criticized for its lack of ambition in addressing ontological and metaphysical questions. By avoiding exploration of the ultimate nature of reality, it misses the opportunity to integrate scientific knowledge with a broader, deeper vision of the universe. This limitation is especially evident when considering the implications of wave function collapse and the role of consciousness. On the other hand, these gaps offer opportunities for the development of new interpretations and theories. Approaches such as the many worlds interpretation, hidden variable theories, and quantum consciousness theories aim to fill these gaps by proposing more comprehensive explanations for quantum phenomena. These theories expand the scope of quantum mechanics, bringing it closer to the philosophical and spiritual questions that have intrigued humanity for millennia. The Copenhagen interpretation and the philosophy of science. The Copenhagen interpretation also highlights a fundamental tension in the philosophy of science, the relationship between what can be measured and what is real. This issue goes beyond quantum mechanics and applies to all fields of science, challenging the limits of empiricism and raising questions about the role of science in the pursuit of truth. This tension is illustrated by the concept of naive realism, which assumes that reality is exactly as it appears to our senses and instruments. Quantum mechanics dismantles this assumption, revealing that the underlying reality can be profoundly different from what we perceive. This insight challenges scientists and philosophers to reconsider their approaches to understanding the nature of the universe. Expanding the limits of interpretation. Although the Copenhagen interpretation was crucial for the advancement of quantum science, its limitations underscore the need for a more integrated and comprehensive approach. Exploring the role of consciousness, the metaphysical implications of wave function collapse, and the possibility of a reality beyond observation are necessary steps toward deepening our understanding of the universe. By expanding the limits of the Copenhagen interpretation, science can approach fundamental questions about the nature of existence, paving the way for a deeper integration of science, philosophy, and spirituality. This journey, though challenging, is essential for unraveling the most profound mysteries of the cosmos and of ourselves. The God-Rambo metaphor. The God-Rambo metaphor illustrates how beliefs can be constructed based on limited interpretations of reality. On a remote Pacific island, inhabitants came to worship the character Rambo as a deity after watching a film about him. This example, while unusual, highlights how people can create belief systems around fragmented experiences. Such belief building is not exclusive to the inhabitants of this fictional island. Modern society exhibits a similar tendency to place faith in systems that offer simplistic solutions to complex issues. One example is scientific materialism, which reduces reality to purely physical phenomena, ignoring metaphysical and spiritual dimensions. This story also underscores the role of cultural interpretation in forming beliefs. Human experiences are shaped by narratives that reinforce perceptions of identity, morality, and meaning. Understanding how these narratives are constructed and perpetuated is essential to exploring the relationship between consciousness and reality, the collapse of the wave function, and the co-creation of reality. Wave function collapse is one of the most revolutionary concepts of quantum mechanics, with far-reaching implications for both science and our understanding of reality and the role of human consciousness. This phenomenon describes how subatomic particles, before being observed, exist in a state of superposition in which all possibilities coexist. Only at the moment of interaction with an observer does one of these possibilities manifest as tangible reality. This principle not only changes our view of physics but also suggests that the interaction between consciousness and matter is an essential creative force in the universe. The state of superposition and the nature of possibilities. Before wave function collapse, a quantum particle exists in a superposition state. In this state, it does not have a defined location or condition, but rather a spectrum of possibilities. This characteristic challenges the classical view that objects possess fixed, unchanging properties, revealing that reality is, in fact, a field of potentialities in constant transformation. The superposition state reflects a fluid, dynamic nature of reality, in which probabilities overlap until observation reduces these possibilities to a single outcome. The moment the wave function collapses marks the transition from the potential to the real, suggesting that the observer is not a passive participant but an active agent in shaping reality. The role of consciousness in wave function collapse. The interaction between observer and quantum system raises a fundamental question. What is the role of consciousness in this process? Many scientists and philosophers argue that consciousness is the essential element that causes wave function collapse, transforming potentiality into concrete reality. If this is true, the human mind plays a far more powerful and creative role in the universe than was traditionally believed. The idea that consciousness influences physical reality finds an echo in various spiritual traditions. For example, in Buddhism, the mind is seen as a creative agent that shapes the world experience. Similarly, quantum mechanics suggests that reality is not a fixed given, but a malleable field shaped by intentions and conscious attention. Reality as a field of potentialities. The concept that the universe is a field of potentialities is one of the most transformative ideas associated with wave function collapse. It suggests that reality is not rigid or deterministic, but a dynamic flow of possibilities that can be influenced by thoughts, intentions, and actions. This redefines how we understand our interaction with the world, shifting from a paradigm of separation to one of interconnection. The idea of a universe of potentialities also aligns with the spiritual concept of co-creation. If each person is an active agent in this field, it implies that our choices, thoughts, and intentions play a key role in manifesting the reality we experience. This perspective empowers individuals to take responsibility for their lives, recognizing that each decision contributes to shaping the world around them. Conscious intention and the co-creation of reality. Co-creating reality is based on the understanding that we are active participants in the manifestation process. Through clear, conscious intentions, we can influence quantum possibilities, bringing them into the physical world as tangible experiences. This principle, though derived from quantum mechanics, is supported by spiritual and psychological practices that highlight the power of thought and visualization. Conscious intention acts as a catalyst in the wave function collapse process. When we focus our mind on a specific goal, we are, in a way, directing energy toward a particular possibility within the quantum field. Neuroscience studies show that the brain reacts to the visualization of an event in a way similar to the real experience, reinforcing the idea that the mind can influence reality. Wave function collapse in spiritual traditions. Wave function collapse finds surprising parallels in spiritual traditions. For instance, the Hindu concept of Maya suggests that material reality is a projection or manifestation of consciousness. Similarly, Buddhism teaches that the mind shapes one's experience of the world, and Hermetic thought asserts that the universe is mental. These traditions have long taught that physical reality is merely an expression of subtler dimensions, and that the power of thought and intention can transform human experience. By highlighting the observer's influence in shaping reality, quantum mechanics provides a scientific basis for these ideas, building a bridge between science and spirituality. Tools for practicing conscious co-creation. Conscious co-creation is not merely a theoretical concept. It is a practice that can be integrated into daily life. Below are some tools that can help in the co-creation process. Creative visualization. Visualization is a powerful practice for directing mental energy and shaping reality. By vividly and emotionally imagining desired scenarios, we create an energy field that attracts the conditions needed for their manifestation. Meditation and mindfulness. Meditative practices help cultivate a state of presence and focus, allowing the mind to align with clear intentions. Meditation also reduces mental noise, facilitating connection with the quantum field of possibilities. Positive affirmations. Affirmations are focused statements that help reprogram the subconscious mind. They reinforce positive beliefs and help align thoughts and emotions with desired goals. Gratitude. Gratitude is a practice that elevates emotional vibration and strengthens the connection with the field of potentialities. When we express gratitude, we create an energetic resonance that attracts more positive experiences. Inspired action. Although thought and intention are fundamental, action is what concretizes possibilities. Acting in a manner aligned with one's desired goals is essential for transforming ideas into reality. The responsibility of co-creation. With the power to influence reality comes the responsibility to use this power consciously and ethically. Co-creation is not just about satisfying personal desires. It also involves aligning intentions with the greater good. Quantum mechanics teaches us that we are interconnected and that our choices affect the collective. Therefore, cultivating intentions based on compassion, empathy, and harmony is essential for creating a more balanced and sustainable world. Science, consciousness, and the future of co-creation. As science continues to explore the mysteries of wave function collapse, new opportunities arise to integrate this knowledge with spiritual practices. The union of science and spirituality offers an expanded view of reality, where mind, matter, and consciousness are recognized as parts of an interconnected whole. The future of conscious co-creation lies in the expansion of collective consciousness. When more people understand their role in the universe and begin to use their intentions consciously, it will be possible to transform not only individual lives, but also the destiny of humanity as a whole. Wave function collapse is therefore a point of convergence between science and spirituality. It challenges us to reconsider our assumptions about reality and to recognize our role as co-creators in a dynamic and interconnected universe. By embracing this vision, we have the opportunity to shape a more conscious and harmonious future for all. The importance of spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge plays a central role in human development and in seeking a broader understanding of reality. It transcends the limitations imposed by a purely materialistic perspective, opening doors to dimensions of the universe that go beyond the tangible. Spirituality, more than an individual journey, is a powerful tool that connects individuals to the greater forces that govern the cosmos, providing clarity, purpose, and an integrated vision of existence. The connection between spirituality and universal reality. Spirituality teaches that material reality is only a part of the whole, an outward expression of subtler forces and energies that permeate the universe. This understanding challenges the conventional view that confines existence to what can be measured or observed by the senses. Through spiritual knowledge, we are invited to explore what lies beyond matter, the energetic and vibrational essence that forms the foundation of everything that exists. This holistic view is supported by ancient traditions and philosophies such as Hinduism, Buddhism, and Hermeticism, which emphasize the interconnection of all things. These teachings assert that matter is shaped by frequencies and vibrations and that consciousness plays a crucial role in the creation and transformation of reality. Thus, spiritual knowledge is not just theoretical, but a living practice that transforms how individuals interact with the world around them. The role of spirituality in expanding consciousness. Spiritual knowledge expands consciousness by challenging limiting beliefs and encouraging a more inclusive, interconnected view of reality. It enables people to transcend social and cultural conditioning that often obscures understanding of life. Through spiritual practices such as meditation, introspection, and the study of sacred texts, individuals are guided to access a deeper understanding of themselves and the universe. By expanding consciousness, spiritual knowledge also offers answers to the fundamental questions of existence. Who are we? What is the purpose of life? How are we connected to the whole? These reflections help align daily life with universal principles, promoting greater harmony, balance, and well-being. Integrating spirituality with modern science. Modern science, especially in the fields of quantum physics, neuroscience, and psychology, has begun to converge with spiritual knowledge, showing that both domains need not be in opposition. While science provides methods to understand the mechanisms of the universe, spirituality offers insights into the purpose and meaning behind those mechanisms. Together, they create a holistic approach to understanding reality. For example, quantum physics has revealed that the universe is a dynamic field of energy and possibilities, a concept that resonates with ancient spiritual teachings. Likewise, studies in neuroscience have demonstrated the transformative effects of spiritual practices, such as meditation and gratitude, on the brain's structure and function. These findings highlight that spiritual self-knowledge is not just an abstract pursuit, but a concrete practice that can improve mental, emotional, and physical health. Spiritual self-knowledge and personal alignment. Spiritual self-knowledge is an internal discovery process that empowers individuals to live more authentically and in alignment. It involves exploring the deeper layers of the mind and heart, helping people understand the connection between their thoughts, emotions, and manifestations in the physical world. When individuals cultivate spiritual self-knowledge, they learn to identify patterns of behavior and beliefs that limit their growth. This clarity makes it possible to transform those patterns, creating space for new possibilities and experiences. Moreover, spiritual self-knowledge promotes greater emotional resilience, helping individuals face challenges with serenity and confidence. Personal alignment is a natural consequence of spiritual self-knowledge. When people understand who they really are, they can align their actions, choices, and intentions with their highest values. This results in a more fulfilling and meaningful life, in which every moment is lived with purpose and presence. The impact of spiritual knowledge on human relationships. Spiritual knowledge also plays a crucial role in improving human relationships. It teaches principles such as empathy, compassion, and forgiveness, which are fundamental for building healthy, harmonious relationships. When people understand that they are deeply connected, they become more inclined to act with kindness and respect. Moreover, spirituality encourages authentic communication and mutual understanding, creating space for individuals to connect at a deeper level. These qualities strengthen interpersonal bonds and promote cooperation rather than conflict. contributing to the building of more cohesive, supportive communities. Spirituality as a tool for social transformation. The impact of spiritual knowledge goes beyond the individual level and extends to social transformation. When people live according to spiritual principles, they become agents of change in their communities. The practice of values such as justice, equality, and sustainability creates a foundation for more harmonious and equitable societies. Additionally, spiritual knowledge inspires altruistic actions and community initiatives that promote collective well-being. It encourages people to see beyond their personal interests, recognizing the interdependence of all beings. This broader perspective is essential for addressing global challenges such as climate change, social inequality, and cultural conflicts. Spiritual knowledge and the search for purpose. One of the most significant contributions of spiritual knowledge is the guidance it offers in the search for purpose. It helps people understand that their lives have a greater meaning, and that every experience, whether positive or challenging, is part of a larger process of learning and growth. This perspective gives new meaning to everyday activities, turning even the simplest tasks into opportunities to express spiritual values. Furthermore, the search for purpose encourages people to explore their talents and passions, allowing them to contribute uniquely to the world. Tools for cultivating spiritual knowledge. Cultivating spiritual knowledge is an ongoing process that requires practice and dedication. Some tools and practices that can help on this path include meditation. Meditation is a powerful practice for calming the mind and accessing deeper states of consciousness. It allows people to connect with their inner essence and the universe. Study of sacred texts. Exploring the wisdom contained in spiritual and philosophical scriptures provides insights into the universal principles that govern life. Gratitude and reflection. Cultivating gratitude and setting aside time for daily reflection help align thoughts and emotions with spiritual values. Altruistic service. Engaging in actions that benefit others is a practical way of living spiritual teachings. Connection with nature. Spending time in nature is a way to directly experience the interconnection of all things and to renew spiritual energy. The path to a spiritually aligned life. Spiritual knowledge is not just a set of ideas or practices. It is an invitation to deep, ongoing transformation. It challenges individuals to transcend the limitations of the ego, to live with integrity, and to recognize the underlying unity of all creation. By integrating spiritual knowledge into their lives, individuals can experience greater clarity, inner peace, and purpose. They also contribute to creating a more conscious, harmonious world, where actions are guided by principles of love, compassion, and wisdom. Education and the transformation of consciousness. Education plays a vital role in shaping a higher collective consciousness. Incorporating quantum mechanics concepts and spirituality into school curricula can transform how people understand reality. This type of education encourages critical thinking, empathy, and a connection with the universe. Teaching the new generations that science is a tool for exploring reality, but not the only answer, creates more balanced, aware individuals. This approach promotes a broader understanding of life and encourages creative solutions to global challenges. Developing interdisciplinary curricula that address both quantum physics and spirituality offers a path toward knowledge integration. This educational model prepares individuals to deal with the complexities of the modern world while also connecting them to their spiritual dimension. The path to collective enlightenment. Collective enlightenment begins with individual transformation. When individuals expand their consciousness, they create a domino effect that reflects on society at deeper levels. Although it is a challenging goal, collective enlightenment represents the convergence of individual and community efforts to create a world more aligned with universal values. Individual transformation as the foundation. The starting point for collective enlightenment is individual transformation. Each person carries the responsibility of cultivating their own consciousness and aligning their actions with universal principles of love, empathy, and compassion. The expansion of individual consciousness not only promotes internal growth, but also generates a domino effect, positively influencing those around. Individual transformation begins with practices that foster self-knowledge and self-awareness. Meditation, for example, helps calm the mind and access deeper levels of understanding. Similarly, studying spiritual teachings, self-reflection, and practicing virtues such as patience and generosity help purify the ego and align the individual with a greater purpose. A person who awakens to spiritual consciousness becomes a guiding light for others. Their thoughts, words, and actions emanate positive energy that inspires and motivates those around them to follow the same path. Thus, collective enlightenment starts with each individual's effort to live more consciously and authentically. The domino effect of expanded consciousness. When a person transforms their consciousness, they impact not only their own life, but also the lives of those around them. This impact creates a domino effect that can spread throughout the family, the community, and even society as a whole. This process is often called collective resonance, where higher vibrations from one individual influence the energetic fields of those close by. For instance, someone who adopts a more compassionate and empathetic attitude in their daily life may inspire others to do the same. Small acts of kindness, when practiced consistently, can create a culture of support and mutual understanding within a group. This phenomenon shows how individual changes are essential to fostering broader social transformation. Moreover, science is beginning to recognize the impact of collective consciousness. Studies conducted by the HeartMath Institute, for example, indicate that coherent, positive emotions such as gratitude and love create measurable energy fields that have a tangible impact on the environment. This reinforces the idea that collective enlightenment is both an energetic and social phenomenon. Practices that promote collective enlightenment. For collective enlightenment to occur, it is necessary to cultivate practices that encourage both individual and community growth. Some of the most effective practices include group meditation. Group meditation amplifies collective energy and creates a powerful space for transformation. When several people gather with the same intention, their individual energies unite, creating a higher vibrational field. This not only benefits participants but can also positively impact the surrounding environment. Community service. Serving others is a practical way to manifest spiritual principles. Acts of altruism and compassion help build stronger connections within communities, fostering a culture of care and mutual support. Sharing knowledge. Spiritual education and the sharing of knowledge about consciousness are essential for expanding collective enlightenment. Workshops, lectures, books, and digital platforms can be used to spread ideas that inspire people to live more consciously. Cultivating universal principles. Principles like love, empathy, understanding, and forgiveness are fundamental in building an enlightened society. Incorporating these values into daily interactions helps create a more harmonious and compassionate environment. Creating safe spaces. Safe spaces for spiritual reflection and growth are vital for collective progress. Spiritual communities, support groups, and meditation circles offer opportunities for people to share experiences, learn from each other, and find support on their journey. The importance of spiritual communities. Spiritual communities play a key role in collective enlightenment by providing a framework for individuals to explore their spirituality together. These spaces encourage the sharing of experiences and the exchange of wisdom, creating an environment of mutual learning and growth. Furthermore, spiritual communities help overcome the isolation that often accompanies the spiritual journey. They offer emotional support, practical guidance, and opportunities for group practices such as meditation and rituals that deepen the connection to the whole. Examples of successful communities include global movements that encourage peace, sustainability, and equality. These groups demonstrate that when people unite with a shared vision, they can create significant change at both local and global levels. The relationship between individual and collective consciousness. Collective enlightenment depends on the interrelationship between individual consciousness and collective consciousness. While personal transformation is crucial, it must be integrated into a broader context for its impact to be maximized. Collective consciousness is shaped by each individual's choices, intentions, and actions, but it also exerts a powerful influence over them. For example, in an environment dominated by fear and separation, it may be more challenging for individuals to access higher states of consciousness. However, when collective consciousness is elevated through spiritual practices and universal values, it becomes easier for individuals to align with enlightenment. This cycle of positive feedback is the driving force behind collective transformation. The benefits of an enlightened society. An enlightened society is characterized by harmony, cooperation, and mutual respect. Rather than operating from a paradigm of competition and scarcity, an enlightened society embraces principles of abundance and interconnection. This manifests in all areas of life, from interpersonal interactions to public policy. The benefits of an enlightened society include reduction of conflicts. When individuals operate from a higher state of consciousness, conflicts diminish because there is a greater willingness to resolve differences peacefully and constructively. Improvement in quality of life. Values such as compassion and empathy create a more supportive environment where everyone's basic needs are met. Ethical, technological, and scientific advances. An enlightened society uses knowledge for the collective good, ensuring that technological and scientific advancements benefit humanity as a whole. Environmental sustainability. Elevated collective consciousness promotes a more harmonious relationship with nature, encouraging practices that respect and preserve the environment. The challenge of collective enlightenment. Despite its transformative potential, the path toward collective enlightenment presents significant challenges. Resistance to growth, attachment to the ego, and perpetuation of systems based on separation and fear are obstacles that must be overcome. In addition, collective transformation requires continuous effort, as deep changes in consciousness often take time to fully manifest. However, these challenges are not insurmountable. With dedication, patience, and collaboration, it is possible to overcome these barriers and move toward a more conscious society. Collective enlightenment is not a destination, but an ongoing journey that requires the active involvement of every individual on the way to an enlightened future. The path to collective enlightenment begins with each individual's transformation and expands through spiritual practices, meaningful human connections, and community efforts. This journey not only transforms individual lives but also has a positive impact on the world, promoting a more harmonious, balanced society that is aligned with universal values. In embarking on this path, it is essential to remember that every step, no matter how small, contributes to collective progress. Collective enlightenment is a call for all of us, an invitation to be agents of change in a world that urgently needs more light, love, and consciousness. Thank you for watching this video and sharing this knowledge. Use the tips for your growth and transcendence. Share the video with those who need to hear this information. Sign up to stay up to date with our content. See you in the next video.